All right, I'm going to demo how to do the pulling a card and showing a pattern on your math board that's white. They're both on the top left, I believe. So it says, take a stack of cards. I've got my cards here, and I took out all the face cards, so I just have the numbers. And I'm assuming that aces are 1, so I've got 1 through 10 in my hand in the stack of cards. And first it says, pick a card. So I'm going to pick a card, any card. I'll just choose one. I got a 10. All right, so my 10 is my starting point. So I'm going to put 10 here. And we're going to do 2. I'm going to do the adding and the multiplying. I'm going to put adding here. For this pattern, we'll be adding on top, and this pattern down here will be multiplying. All right, so the starting point with both of these is 10. I'm going to put 10 and 10 right there. And then it says it wants me to pull another card, and that will be my pattern. So like how much I'm increasing by. Let's see, so I'm just going to pull one here. Ace. Oh, a 1. Okay, that'll make our pattern interesting. So for the adding one, that means that I have to add 1 each time. So here will be my first repetition. And if I add 1, I would end up with 10 plus 1, which would be 11. And then my next iteration, if I add 1, 11 plus 1 would be 12. And then for my second or my third iteration, 12 plus 1 would be 13. This is kind of an easy one because it's 1. And then if my next iteration, plus 1 would be 14. And you get the idea. I just keep adding 1 each time for the adding pattern. For the multiplying pattern, I multiply by 1 each time. So times 1, 10 times 1 gives us 10. And then I multiply by 1 again. 10 times 1 is 10. And I multiply by 1 again. And 10 times 1 is 10. Multiply by 1 again, and 10 times 1 is 10. So you can see that would be the pattern. Adding, I'm going up by 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It would just keep going. And multiplying, it would stay the same because I'm multiplying it by 1. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I'll put those cards back, and we'll do another one. All right. All right, so we'll choose a card here for our starting point. Just choose a card. Don't look. Got a 5, it looks like. All right, a 5 right there. Everybody can see that. So we'll put 5 over here for our starting number on adding and multiplying. All right, then we need to choose our next card, which will be our change. So let's see, we'll choose another one. We got a 4 this time. Okay, that should be more interesting. All right, so this time I'm going to be adding 4 to each number on my adding part. So for our second iteration, we'll put plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. All right. And then the second time around, plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. And then 13 plus 4 is 17. And we'll just keep adding 4 on. 17 plus 4 is 21. And you can see if I just kept going with that, I would just keep adding 4 to that every time. And then for our multiplying here, this is going to get big fast. So I'm going to multiply by 4, 5 times 4. Well, that's easy the first time around. 5 times 4 is 20. All right, then we'll do that again. 20 times 4. Well, I know that 2 times 4 is 8. So that'd be 8 with an extra 0 after it, or 80. And we'll do that again, times 4. Let's see, 8 times 4 is 32. So 32 with an extra 0 placeholder after it. And then we'll multiply that again by 4. Let's see, 32 times 4, I'm not so sure I know that one in my head or not. 320 times 4, 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 1,280. You see, it's getting a lot bigger, a lot faster now. And then we would just keep multiplying by 4. So notice on the adding one, it's going up, but not as nearly as fast as the multiplication one. I got to 21 in my last here iteration, and multiplying, I was already in 1,280. So multiplying gets you going up a lot faster. So you can do that today. I could also do subtracting and dividing if I wanted to. I think that, I don't know if it's one of your options or not. Or you could switch it up, or if you want to do add, subtract, with two numbers. We'll do that one here. We'll do an adding and subtracting one. And then we'll be done. Okay, so I will do plus 1, and then I'll subtract 1 out. So let's see, we'll choose a starting number. I'll take 9 as our starting number, all right? So I'll put 9 up here. So now I'm gonna pull one card for the starting to add to. So let's see, I got 4, all right? So we're gonna add 4. So 9 plus 4 is 13. All right, then I'm gonna pull a third card for my second change. 1. So now I'm going to subtract 1. So minus 1. 13 minus 1 is 12. All right, then I'm going to go back and do my 4. I'm just going to keep repeating that. So plus 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. And then subtract 1. 16 minus 1 is 15. And then add 4. 15 plus 4 is 19. And then subtract 1 would be 18. And I can just keep going like that. Plus 4 minus 1 plus 4 minus 1 with my pattern the whole time as well. And you notice 4 plus 4 minus 1 is really 3. So I'm really, after every 2, I'm just adding 3 to it. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. But our pattern has to go plus 4 minus 1 plus 4 minus 1 to show that pattern. So if you're looking at a pattern, sometimes you can tell whether it's addition or multiplication because the multiplication ones go up by a lot and the addition ones won't go up by as fast as much. And you can usually tell if you count it. If I didn't have these numbers here, I'll come up with one also. Again, I'll write a pattern here. I'll show you. Let's see. All right, so I've got this pattern here. And like this one, I didn't tell you what I was increasing by or starting with, so you have to figure this one out. So if I was doing this, I'd look at this and I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not going up by that much each time. So it's probably an addition pattern. So let's see, we have to figure out what's being added each time or subtracted each time from it. So I'm looking here, I'm thinking, okay, between the difference between 3 and 8, if I add 5 to that, that would get me from 3 to 8. And then, let's see, from 8 to 13, let's see, well, 13 minus 8 is 5. So that would be plus 5. Ooh, that's a good start. Those are both changing by 5. That might be our pattern. Let's check another one. 13 to 18, that would be plus 5. 23 minus 18, that's 5. And 28 and 23, the difference is 5. So since all of the changes are plus 5 each time, that means that what we really got was we would have pulled a 3 card for our starting point. And then we would have pulled a 5 to change with each time to give us a pattern of 3, 8, 13, 18, 23, 28. So you can start a pattern and create it, or you can find a pattern and then figure out, using some detective work, what the pattern is. So you could just pull a stack of cards at home if you have them to do this today. If you don't have some cards, I would just get some pieces of paper and just write some numbers out and then put them all in like a hat or a cup or a jar or something and just pull numbers out. And you could choose any numbers that you want to. It don't have to be the numbers in a deck of cards. You could have 100 or 1,000 if you wanted to.